Storytime friends, it's Miss Lene from the Mooresville Public Library. I've really been missing seeing all of your smiling faces here at the library. Would you like to do a story time with me today? Let's start with a song. Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you today? Well, hello, and how are you today? I'm doing very well. Our story, summer reading theme for this first week is mythical creatures like unicorns and dragons and giants and mermaids and even narwhals. And today I'd like to thank Simon & Schuster and the author and illustrator Jessie Sema for letting us read the book, Not Quite Narwhal. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay. Kelp was born deep in the ocean. He knew early on that he was different from the other narwhals. His tusk wasn't as long as everyone else's, and he had different tastes in food. And he wasn't a very good swimmer. But his friends didn't seem to mind, so Kelp decided he wouldn't either. That is, until he was swept away by a strong current. Look at him floating away in the ocean. I wish I was a better swimmer, he thought. Kelp found himself at the surface closer to land than he'd ever been before. High up on a cliff, he spotted a mysterious, sparkling creature. It looked so familiar. It looked like Kelp. Do you see that up there? That looks just like him. Kelp swam toward land as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all, hoping that he could catch up with the creature that looked just like him. And when he finally reached the shore, Kelp felt a little bit anxious. He had never been out of the ocean before. He was very nervous about walking for the first time, but the land creatures made it look so easy. Look, there's a little crab walking around in the sand. And Kelp tries to walk just like the crab. Whoops, he fell down. And then he tries to hop just like a frog, and whoop, he fell down again. But eventually he got the hang of it. I think he copied the turtles. Everything on the land was strange and beautiful, but also kind of scary. Kelp began to think he might never find the creature that looked just like him, but as he stumbled out of the forest, land narwhals! Look at them all! Do you think they're land narwhals, or do you think, actually, we're unicorns, they said, and by the looks of it, so are you. Kelp had never heard of unicorns before. They taught him all sorts of new things about his tusks. We call them horns, they said. Wow, said Kelp. And they introduced him to unicorn delicacies. Look, a unicorn, like a snow cone that we eat. And they showed him how to gallop, too. There was no doubt that Kelp was, in fact, a unicorn. He was having so much fun that he didn't want to leave. But then he remembered all of his friends under the sea. Kelp missed them terribly, so he said goodbye to the unicorns and returned to the ocean. Come back soon, they said. Kelp swam toward home as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all, hoping that the narwhals would still like him now that he was a unicorn. And when he finally arrived, Kelp had butterflies in his stomach. I think he was a little bit nervous to get home. But there was a big sign that said, "Welcome home." And his friends said, "Kelp." They were happy to see him. Kelp took a deep breath and told them all the news. It turns out I'm not a narwhal. Of course you aren't, said one of his friends. I'm a unicorn, he said. Well, we all knew that, said another. They took it quite well.
Kelp was happy to be home, but now that he'd experienced life on land with the unicorns, he couldn't seem to forget them. Did he want to be a land narwhal with the unicorns, or a sea unicorn with the narwhals? He couldn't decide. But then he realized that maybe, just maybe, he didn't have to choose. Look, he can play with all of his friends. He doesn't have to pick a team to be on. Isn't that a nice story? I always enjoy that, and I like narwhals too, even though they are mythical creatures. I have a fun rhyme about dragons, if you'd like to do that with me, but we're going to need our 2 fingers. Are you ready? Okay. We have 2 little dragons, and they're up on a hill. Are you ready? 2 little dragons were sitting on the hill, one named Jack and one named Jill. Fly away, Jack, fly away, Jill. Come back, Jack, come back, Jill. 2 little dragons were sitting on a cloud, one named Quiet, shh, and one named Loud. Fly away, Quiet, fly away, Loud. Come back, Quiet, come back, Loud. And then 2 little dragons were sitting on a stick, one named Slow and one named Quick. Fly away, Slow, fly away, quick. Come back, Slow, come back, quick. You did it. Did you enjoy that? When you're home, you can add even more rhymes to that and make it more fun. It is time to say goodbye, you guys, and we are going to do a goodbye song. If you remember the one we do at story time when you come here, we can do that one today. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye like this. We say goodbye to all our friends and wave goodbye like this. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll see you next week.